I don't know what to do in the first little bit of this video. I've been sitting here for a good 10 minutes trying to figure out something to do, because the rule of thumb is you're supposed to be in the first 5 seconds something funny, interesting, something engaging enough for people to kind of stick with you so that they don't click away, and I literally have nothing. So short of me taking off my clothes, which I will spare you that hilarity, I have nothing. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just start. Do you have any ideas, guy in a hat? Let's talk Romeo and Juliet for a second here. I recently reacquainted myself with the play because I've been watching Crash Course, this really great YouTube channel that's hosted by John Green, which is one half of the Vlogbrothers. For those of you who may not know, I went to university for English. I have an English degree from the University of Lethbridge, fine institution as it is. So I'm fairly familiar with the Shakespeare canon, but one of the plays that I've had very mixed feelings about my entire English career, or any time that I've kind of delved into Shakespeare, has been Romeo and Juliet. I kind of realized that part of this kind of mixed emotional response that I have has maybe nothing to do with the play itself, but all to do with my history with it. Performance anxiety. Let me explain before you jump to conclusions. Every couple of years at my high school, they had this thing called Medieval Night, where we would actually come into the gymnasium. It'd be decorated in this medieval way, and people would be served food and eat with their hands and like break their bread and dress up in their like old like English clothing, and then they would have some performances at the night, little skits that were done by the students. And one of the skits was going to be a parody of Romeo and Juliet done as if it was in an old Western style movie. So I was there being Romeo, and one of the prettiest girls in the school was Juliet. And because I look the way I look, we didn't practice at all. And I needed some more room. So imagine me there in all my Western regalia, and I have my hat on. I really wish I had a cowboy hat, which is weird that I don't, being that I live in Calgary, Alberta. How long do I hold this before this becomes super awkward? The first bit of the scene is the balcony scene, so it comes straight from the text, and I have to do it in this western drawl. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? 'Tis the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief. I sound like Dr. Phil. Anyway, so I say that, and then I'm supposed to say something else right after that, which is, I can't remember what it is. And I freeze there on stage. I have no idea what to do. And the one thing you can't really do so much in Shakespeare plays, improvise. And I was devastated. I'm back in my room again here, by the way. And I was this completely and utterly devastated. I just felt like the worst. Like the worst. It was just like I stood up there and I got through it. But I mean, like, my confidence was completely shaken, and I was... it was a terrible, terrible experience. I remember being behind the curtain after the little skit was done, just being like, taking off my western wear, like taking off my hat and my stupid jacket and stuff that I had on there, little bolo tie and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I just want to crawl under a rock and die. Reading as an adult, though, I have kind of a bit different response. It's still not one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, but I can come at it from a new place. I think that some of the things that it gets thrown at is that this is one of the most romantic plays you're ever going to read. And really, when you delve into it, it really isn't. One of the things I've always loved about Shakespeare is that he's able to combine both high art and low. And in this, it's no exception. We have basically this real introspective look about what love is, what lust is, what duty is, what free will is there fate or is there free will, and then mixing that with, of course, jokes about female genitalia. But I mean, we do have all these things kind of coming together. Plus, they make a lot of references to female vaginas, as opposed to the male vaginas that we're so knowledgeable of nowadays. Shakespeare didn't know about them, but we know about them. So, are we good? We're good with everything? Guy with the hat, do you have anything to add? Yeah, I didn't think so.